Hey, Laura J here in my creative space, aka Home with Papa. And behind me, you can see a lot of my creative work. And here on the couch, you see a new endeavor that I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn how to play guitar just because it's a practical life skill. And I'm also actually taking a hair training course so that I can actually learn how to grow my hair, how to actually extend my wisdom physically, symbolically, how to be more present, how to be more empowered, how to actually strengthen the tube of light outside of me, how to do decrees, how to be a peaceful inner warrior. And so, what I'm going to invite you to join me in doing as I unpack these ideas and grow and invite you to do the same is to say that we are all peaceful inner warriors when we decide to learn how to find that inner rabbit hole Maxwell Maltz spoke of in Psycho-Cybernetics. That Maxwell Maltz spoke about in Psycho-Cybernetics, where we have a space within ourselves that is absolute peace and bliss. It is the center point, or the threefold flame. It is a chance for us to be able to return to the stillness of life and to realize that we are actually living the whole thing in a sacred temple, that it is our own strength that most amazes us, and that if we do not use, we will lose. And so it is time for us to begin exercising together. It is time for us to start honoring our space. It is time for us to bring in the new and ground what exists and be able to balance ourselves in the present moment, realizing that our scars make us beautiful. I feel like it's appropriate to have the Alicia Cara song in the background there. But all of this is to say, I'm doing things in a lot of different ways. And as Donald Trump's inauguration song went, I'll do it my way. That's not the tune, but it's the song. I like to sing, I like to breathe, I like to dance, I like to do yoga. I love to talk about spirituality, do tarot, animal messenger, oracle, reading cards. I love to do all sorts of different opportunities that grow and stretch me and help me become more of who and whose I truly am by holding up brighter and clearer mirrors for me to be able to perfect myself, to be able to be the ascended master I came here to be. That you did too, if you choose. But that's the thing, we get to choose. Normally I have on my onyx bracelet that I was given by Raphael, the bartender, where I stayed before I went over the edge. I didn't get enough sleep. The magic of the moment got a little wild because it's amazing and out of this world if we actually ride it hard and don't just hold ourselves back for the sake of what we understand, because we understand the divine doesn't work in terms of the senses or what is sensible. It is about just feeling and vibing and riding what comes and flowing with that. And so that is where we get back to the Peaceful Inner Warrior special practice that I am inviting you to create with me in the month of February. So this is your opportunity to join with me for a 28-day journey into your own peaceful nature. So every single day we will come together as part of the special practice. And we will do a live. That's an amazing way to do it. Just go live at a specific time, and then anyone that wants to participate can do so. And essentially it's moving through a 15-minute breathing exercise, a 15-minute decree exercise, a 15-minute movement exercise, and then if we just make it 33 minutes of all of it combined, then that's my age. And ultimately, if we can just do 33 minutes of movement that allows us to honor ourselves, and I've got loads of energy trainers that have created their own styles, some of them themselves, others have got certified in other people's programs or systems. I worked in the gym industry for a year nearly, and so I have gained access to some amazing resources over the years, and I want to share them with you. I want to give you the best of everything that I've got. So if you sign up at LJEH, I want to give you the best of what I've got. So if you sign up, then I will be glad to share some of the coolest people that I have met with you to discuss topics of significance and relevance to you. We're going to talk about the human journey. We're going to talk about where these people came from, what they went through in order to become who they are when they sit before you. And then I'm going to get everyone to explain what it means to them to be a warrior, because what I feel right now is that we are being called to understand that a warrior and a soldier are not the same. And we are being called to actually enhance and support our own warrior nature, so that instead of taking orders for what we will obey, regardless of the cost to us and the one at the end of the scope, in order to fulfill said script, it is instead an opportunity for us to create a new timeline. We are the ones that can bring the now into the moment, which is the new orderly world. So I'm going to say there's been a lot of corruption, and right now all of the hierarchies of the Piscean age are now collapsing. As the age of Aquarius, which is about the water sign and even ebbs and flows with waves, and yet all of them come back to the same. It is time for us to understand that some will rise and all will fall, but the point is that we must all now call ourselves back to the present moment where we have power, and to ask better questions. Because as Socrates says, the quality of our questions directly determines the quality of life we are able to have, because it will determine how deep we are willing to go into ourselves. And if we fail to go within, we will go without. And that will not only be a travesty to you, it will be a travesty to all who are connected to you. Because please understand that all of our relatives are the ones that are growing vicariously through us too. We are the mirrors all look through, and therefore it is up to us to clear ourselves, to clean the mirror, and to live a life of purity, to have virtues, to imbue the light more than the shadow, and to move the scared into the sacred again, to bring our divine nature back into who and whose we truly are, into our center. Whoa, that was just out of this world, and yet some would say that was nothing, it was lighting, and others would say, wow, what was that, with wonder. And I say you can be in either camp, and I encourage you to be the one that is like the child, because the child is the soul. The soul is the child. It is the closest thing to the God spark source that we all come from and we all return to, and only feel separate from when we get loads of layered programming that make us think we are less than we actually are. For you and I both came here to be the gods who wore the crown. We have the crown chakra here, and when we actually bring down the Christ consciousness, then we actually wear the corona. Please understand that the things we are taught to fear in this land are actually the things that would bring us empowerment. And so a corona is the gaseous aura of a god, of one who was able to imbue all of who and whose they are into the present moment. the present one where we all come from, we all return to, which is why the now, the new order, the new orderly world is so significant right now. All of it is happening now, like a multi-dimensional layer cake that has all of it happening now. Everything, all of it now. When do you ever experience something that is not now other than a memory, which is a remembrance of a not now moment? But when we put our energy into that, that is when our emotions get stuck, because we are trying to feel into something that is no longer here. And so then we have to just cut ties with that of which is no longer here and bring ourselves back into the present and say, who do I declare I will be from now on? When I was working at Movati, which was one of my most fun jobs, I absolutely loved being a program coordinator where I was able to, or a membership coordinator where I was able to help people get memberships. And basically when I was there, I started to do some chin-ups, and I said I wanted to get to 10 by Christmas, and I got to 5. But I set that in about October. Well, while I was doing that, I started to actually practice handstands. And I loved it so much that I carried on the practice. And now I can often stand on my hands for a prolonged period of time. And sometimes it takes a while to get up, and sometimes I can do it right away, and sometimes I can do cool things with my feet, and sometimes I can't do any of that. I say that because whatever we practice, we can draw on as a skill because it's more familiar to us. I want you to become more familiar with your power. I want you to call it back to this moment. I want you to see the ring of fire, and I want you to blaze that back into the sacred chamber of the heart behind the heart chakra. I want you to bring it into the 8th chakra that actually embodies the center point for all of who we are. In the apple core matrix of the toroidal field that exceeds from our head up through the crown into the Christ consciousness and up into the I am that I am above that on the silver cord that then goes down into Mother Gaia and back around up through us and out again and back and forth, and does it so many directions and so quickly that ultimately we become like the centerpiece, the seeds that then put forth our own creations for them to be able to be given back to us. Let us clear the air. Let us breathe deeply, and let us do it together. In the month of February, I hope you will come along on a journey with me into who and whose you truly are. I will not challenge you to drop any of what you bring to the table in terms of what makes you feel safe and familiar and what your relationship with the source of creation for you and your people is. I implore you to keep it. I want you to keep feeling safe. But what I do ask you to do is drop the walls. I want you to realize that words are walls. Words are also wands. It depends whether we are using them to build others up or to take them down. A wall is either used to keep someone out or keep something in. It is time for us to understand we must learn to be the sacred keepers of our own vessel. And by connecting with the heart center, the secret chamber of the heart behind that, in fact, actually, that brings our center of creation to a whole new point. And when I was learning how to do the handstands, what I actually learned was the experience of a tipping point, which I am asking 144,000 of us to reach together. I've had this vision for many years and I didn't quite know the formation of it, and now I'm experiencing it with you because I sometimes channel too. I don't necessarily call myself a channel because I'm just speaking from my heart, not my head. I don't think about what is being said. which is why it often rhymes, because that's how flow and rhythm works when you know who and whose you are in a way that gives you safety and confidence to play in the heart of who and whose you are, to be yourself and sing the song as you go along. It's true that you are more powerful than you've ever known. It's true that you are invited to come along to make a compilation CD with me and the other 21 artists who want to participate in the Mystic Music Summit. Yeah. In the Mystic Music Summit, where peaceful inner warriors gather in harmony for all of us to do our own thing. It's time for us to do our own thing with others who are willing to be themselves too and do their own thing, even if it's nearly as crazy as what others maybe claim that I am. I command myself to rise to the occasion as I call to you. I told a devilish man once that I was a siren for the white light. It's true, and he said to his mates, we got to get out of here. I cannot be with her. I'm a pimp and drug dealer. I gotta get out of here, get her away from here. Don't even look at her, she might convert you, and then who would I tease and play with? It was true that I was waging war with darkness, and I didn't even know it, and I was staying on my own for 5 days before I then flew home and called myself into the police to say I'm an ambassador for peace and I need to get to the embassy and I don't know how to reach them, so I need you to help connect me. It's true that I need to get to the top because I know that this is a leader's job and I know that I cannot do it from my grandparents' basement where I have been since 2017, before I started working at the gym where I learned about the tipping point, where only a certain point needs to be reached. Before then, we are able to do it and defend our position better than we could before, because suddenly we have muscles to remember how to do what we did before in the present moment for longer. That's how we grow a skill. It is true that when we decide to hold ourselves up for longer than we are able to be the ones that we remember, because they inspired us to do more and to be who and whose we are more than we would have alone. Because it's not as much fun if we do not have someone else to play with. And so I say to you, come along for the journey and you can join some of the summits, the podcasts, or blogs where I reach out to you and I give you a piece of my heart, because I have a lot of love in it, and I hope that you will take some of it and go and bless others because it filled you up. And as you fill others, then you too get full too. It's a vicious cycle, except it's virtuous instead. The fruits of the Spirit is what the Christians know it to be, and other religions and tribes, all the traditions. We all think we're separate, yet we're talking about the very same thing. It's crazy. We let the box and the label keep us safely separate from each other, and now there's a virus that could contaminate the ones who believe this story they're being fed from just one source, who can better control you if they keep your circle or bubble small. Did we not think of all that before? If not, why not? Just like we must ask of ourselves, if we're not where we want to be, why not? And if not, know that You're not there yet because you're not meant to be. You're meant to be exactly where you are because that's where you are as a key position on the chessboard of life. It's true, I want you to know how amazing you are. I want you to come along. Make sure you subscribed, and then as of the beginning of the month, I am going to share my hair journey along with the sacred special practice. I'll break down for you faster and better than I've ever done it before because I always get distracted with the S of the sacred sojourn of the soul, my favorite part, and yet the PECIAL are important too, so let's go do them too this week. Coming! You gotta sign up. February 1st, I will send you the first in that series, and in the process I'm going to finish the book that rewrote me before I came here to be me, to tell you this story and write my book too, and do all of the other things. The experiences of breaking down and doubting myself taught me in order to come here and stand strong and know that I can hold my own, and I know that I'll never throw in the towel before I gave it my best. Even if I don't know how to do it perfectly, I'm gonna give it my best if I said yes, but I'm not gonna say yes frivolously no more because I know my time's too precious. I got a team. It is made of my time, energy, effort, attention, money. It's true, those are my team players who we are all playing with. Please understand your time, energy, effort, attention, and money are how you invest yourself and get sold by the prostitute inside of you. Yes, you have one too. It is one of the 4 survival archetypes that I've shared in summits before. It's all been building up to now. And now we're gonna go to the next level, and it's true that we can take all of what exists and then put it in order to help us go to the next level together. And if we gotta take a few steps back, let's do it. It's okay, we don't mind slowing down for you, you're worth it. And if you need some help, give us a shout and just be willing to dance. It's true, because you are the one you've been waiting for, and there's somebody who needs you to remind them on the day when they're lowest that they are worth it too. So you got to get yourself strong so that you can be the one. And I know that every time I point out to you, I got 6 digits pointing back at me, so I'm doing my best to be my best and be willing to not be good if I'm gonna do it all live, and let that be okay and get it out anyway. Because if I'm willing to be an ass, I hope it makes you be willing to be one too, but not to be disrespectful, because I think that's what we gotta shift here. We gotta understand in Maslow's hierarchy, we gotta know survival, safety, belonging, respect, self-actualization, where we get to be the masters of our lives. This is the home, the domain that you roam, and then yet always are inside of that domain. You are the one who has to guard your kingdom, the gates of your space, energetically too, even though you cannot see it. And the ones who say I gotta see it before I'll believe it to you, I say that there is a lot of pressure you put on yourself to bring it all into the present moment. So don't talk about it anymore, because I killed many a creative baby by sharing them with people who didn't believe in me or my dreams, and so then they killed my ideas before they even had a chance to become attached to me more than when I grew them inside of my womb and tried to then birth them into reality. I don't know what I'm gonna say after this, so I wanna wrap this message up, and yet I say sometimes I impress myself with what I say and hope that it mean something to somebody, and say that this is the end for today. Namaste. Namago. It's true. Toodaloo. I am going back.